What up, traders? How we doing? Welcome back to the one and only Money Mitch. I know that you guys saw the action that was going on today. What a coaster ride indeed. Today we're going to be explaining about what happened and why oil kind of had that big spark on up. We'll talk about why a certain industry got charged up. Yes, solar. I know that you guys saw those stocks running. And of course, what is next? What is an industry that some might be missing out a move in that we talked about at the beginning of the month? Stay right here on Money Mitch. Let's get it started, guys. Give me a thumbs on up. Let's go ahead. Welcome to it, Money Mitch.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch. Story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.
What's going on, my traders on out there? Hope you guys can hear me well. It looks like I'm having a little bit of hearing issues in my ears, but let's just keep going. Let's get right into it. How you guys doing out there? Thank you guys for joining me today on this Tuesday. We're going to get into some stocks. We'll also cover a lot of the stocks that we talked about yesterday. One of the things that I did yesterday is I went through a whole big list. We talked a lot about potentially big moves in these. Let's go through them and see what we found. All right, let's go ahead. Let's dive in and see why the stocks are moving like they were today. So we're going to take a look, of course, at the overall market here. Let's take a look at the SPY coming on down through that red zone of 419 today, really coming on down there towards the close. And what a roller coaster ride indeed. We did get a spike there with the Biden speech, but quickly gave up all that and more. Actually down there now in the after hours to 414, and it is not looking good here, guys. Definitely a big volatile day and a lot of selling into the close there. I didn't see the imbalance exact, but man, it looked like there was some good selling on the close there. We got to be careful. The market is getting weaker and weaker, not stronger, guys. So one of the things that I look at is the market breadth. And if you look at the stocks above and below the SMA 200, we're at 23.9% of stocks in bullish territory, 76.1% of stocks in bearish territory. I've been talking about this, that I wouldn't change into my bullish zone view in a long-term view until we at least get to the 40%. For a second there, we were showing up to 30% in this kind of statistic. And now you can see what we're going back into the wrong area. Now, what I really don't want to see is below 20s or get into the 15%, because really, I mean, you're going to just see everything down. And that's the hard part. One of the things that is concerning for me is if you look on the daily, I've been talking about this, we're getting closer and closer to a death cross on the SPY. Let's take a look on the Qs, how that same death cross has looked. You guys saw it here. We were talking about, could we get the death cross? We got the death cross in the Qs. And ever since then, look at this, guys. This was right here. Look what has happened since then. Straight down move there in the Qs. You got to be careful out there when you're seeing those death crosses. Those are going to go ahead and show us that at least long term right now, everything is pointing towards the downside, not towards the upside. You got to keep your protection on. Miss Whitehorse in the house on the lunch break, tuning in with a little sushi. Well, hey, pinky on up, sushi out. Daryl in the house, riff raff, Tesla up today. I'll take a look. Blind trader, Jesus, where's the cat? Where's Hendrix? Let's go. Richard in the house, Kevin, it's good to have you. Sophie, is Soul ready to move? I mean, did you see it? Did you see Soul? We'll talk about it. Red Rum, please give us the rotation. I'll talk a little bit about the industry that I really want to look after. Like I talk about on live trading, I'm never always going to be right, But one of the things I like to do is speculate on what's coming up next. It's not always what we're battling right now. Right now, I think you look more into solar plays and you continue looking into the inflationary trade. I've even been starting to take a look at maybe some lithium plays, but we'll talk a little bit about those. But right now, where I'm focused on is, of course, some longer time playing and what infrastructure bill, every time we start getting mentions of that, what happens to these infrastructure stocks? Rip rallying. We talked about it on the monthlies that I liked a couple of these, and I talked about it. I felt that Deere was going to pull back a little bit, and you were going to get Cat to kind of catch up to it. Look how Cat has been catching up. We talked about this on the monthly low. As soon as we opened up this candle, we were looking for a move to 221. If you guys look at why? Because I'm looking at it hot. Sometimes we get those already beat. And now what is it doing for? I think now the E-looking has already started to take off. Do I think these are going to run excessively this month? No. I think this is going to be a trade to look at for the next 6 months. And so this is what I'd call out as an industry to watch is the industrials. Keep these on watch because we're pulling on back. We're going to look to see if this whole kind of sector can pull back around and really start pushing. But I think this is the one area that I could see us turning around later in, let's say, Q2 or Q3. So pay attention to these. We'll see what happens. Definitely Cat getting going there. So we'll see if these industrials can keep moving, and especially farm, heavy construction. Take a look at some of those. You can, line it up by capitalization. Behind Cat, you got PCAR. This is another one that's been going sideways for a while. Look for it to take out 100. Eventually, that will start looking really strong. This one looking like it's getting some good volume. AGCO, we'll look for a nice little flag pattern to come back into play. Come back above 140s. This one looks interesting. And so keep an eye out on a bunch of these and see if they keep moving. It's not just going to be one that's going to make this move. If we're going to get it, we're going to get an overall industry move. We'll keep these on watch. Let's go to the next sector that I wanted to watch today. I talked about this before the open, guys. I think this is important to know. Sometimes I know that a lot of people who just catch maybe Money Mitch don't catch the live trading. It's all about trying to look at what's going to happen. Okay, so today, we saw solar stocks kind of making a boost yesterday. We talked about a couple. Wrote down here a couple just to keep an eye out on a couple. Sol, SPI, Sunrun. We're looking at Max N. And let's take a look at how some of these stocks performed today. So let's take a look. Of course, what do I like to do is always work backwards, guys. So if we look at change from the open, technology is up. And then what do? We look into the industries, and solar was up 11.28% for the industry. This is massive because when you play stocks like this in an industry making a move like this, this is what you can find. You can find what? Only one name here was in the red there. Run was up there towards 9%. Sol was a 36% move, guys. This is one that called out before the open, was looking for a push above 650s. And look how it went all the way up there to 807. I was looking for a move to 750, so maybe you might have gotten stopped. Maybe you would have stopped a little shorter on my outlook, maybe around 20%. But I mean, Sol pushing up there for like 30-40%. That is a monster move there for Sol today. So hope somebody was able to catch that one. Another one that I thought was lagging a little bit was Max N, because the look was a pullback on the daily. Sideways action yesterday didn't really make a huge move, even though some of these stocks were already moving yesterday. And look at Max 10 follow through today through that 1184, getting all the way up there towards a high of 1433s. I missed this one in the intraday market by 2 cents, guys. I was a little annoyed on this one, but hey, sometimes it's going to happen where you miss a play, but at least we talked about it here. Does Benzinga give you industry movements? It's not necessarily in Benzinga overall. I mean, one thing that you can use on Benzinga Pro is you can search by industry. And so then you can pull up certain stocks by industry. I just like the feature that right here on TC where I can kind of click through it. I've been trying to work this feature into Pro. I do think that I'll get it into it this year, but you can still do it another way on Pro. I could show you exactly that, Red Rum. If you want to do that, reach out to me. I'll go ahead and I can even give you the layout so that you can nail that down on Pro. It's just a little bit harder than, let's say, here on TC. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. Someone wants to talk about Boyle. I'll get into that. I have no problem getting into it, but definitely today, Max N, really nice trade there on a couple of these. And we're going to look to see if these can continue to run. Nova, Beam, there's a bunch of them in here. ENPH was another one, of course, leader. And I was looking for a push up there towards this kind of resistance on up here. And if you look here on the daily, this one actually looking really strong, making a move up there towards 180. And if you look here on the pullback, this is actually setting on up for a nice weekly breakout back up there towards, let's say, 200, 220s. I'm going to keep this one on watch. This one could continue to run, and I do think it's the leader here. So if you want to stick with the leader, I say you watch that ENPH. All right, let's keep going into some other stock areas that are really taking a beating. And, I mean, we could take a look at some of these energy names before that. Let's take a look at CEI. Did take a trade on this one today. Not make the biggest move, but was able to catch at least a little pop into the 180s. Not a bad move there, but really what did these stocks do a lot is they did a huge pre-market move. And when you see huge pre-market moves, you need to be careful not to get caught in all the pre-market hype. It's very easy to see pre-market moves up 30%, 40%, and then see them give it all away in the intraday. So just be careful. Always keep this on alert. Realize if the stock has gone too far in pre-market, it could pull back for today and maybe take off in the following day. So stocks like that are up, let's say 60, 80%, what I like to do a lot of times is I'll set an alert back at a level for a breakout level. I want to see them pull back. It's okay for the pullback to come. But one thing I'm looking for is that next surge up. And I don't want to miss it. But at the same time, I'm going to look for deeper time frames to avoid getting caught so much in that chop. So if we take a look here on CEI on the hourly, look how it came back to yesterday's hourly low support here of 115 or 110s. And so this is why I'd be looking for that 1 hour chart tomorrow to get back into the bullish sense. So what would be the bullish sense for me on CEI is a move back above 150s. And so always use these deeper time frames to get around some of the volatility. It's going to give you an ability to look at the charts in a deeper mindset than just a couple of minutes and seeing where the stock is going overall, maybe over in a couple of days than just one day. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's keep going. Let's start taking a look at some of these other plays and where we could take a look at trades moving forward. Now, one thing I do want to mention, I think we got about 92 people joining us right now. I'm going to be having a special panel for you guys tomorrow. Going to get into International Women's Day. I wanted to do it today, but we're going to push it towards tomorrow. I hope you guys join us tomorrow. I'm going to have 3 of the best women on FinTwit right now. I think these are women that really represent finance in the right ways. So if you guys want to come here, get some knowledge from some of the best, I would tell you guys to join in on that panel, and that'll be tomorrow at 4:30. So don't miss out. All right, let's keep going. Let's get into some other stocks that made big moves today. Nine was one of those stocks. This stock was halting left and right. We were talking about this stock yesterday going into the close, and you could see this stock made a push up there at 407, pulled on back there. So we're going to watch to see if this one can start getting moving here. Let me go back into 9 here. Sorry about the call there. Just getting a phone call. We're going to look to see if we can get that next push up in 9. I do like this look here. Why? Because we went sideways here on the hourly. Sideways is a good look. Pre-market, what did it do? And it went up way too fast off of those earnings. It was up like 71%. But what do? We pull back about 34%. What is that? That's a 50% retracement. So it's a good retracement level to take a look at this 9, and we'll see if it takes off tomorrow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually set an alert here at about, let's do 610. So if it gets above 610, we'll get alerted on live trading and look to see if this one can get back up and moving. All right, a couple other ones that I wanted to take a look at to see how they ended up moving was BORR. Let's take a look at HP. These are some that I'm telling you guys to keep these on watch. Just because they pulled back today doesn't mean they can't have a strong day too. I'm going to be watching these, and I do like some other ones like let's get into RIG. RIG, this is another one. Sideways action, oil, gas drilling. Just went sideways today. Look for that continuation above the 550s. I think with these, a lot of times, they're kind of these stocks that don't like to really run, let's say, on a 1-minute scale. A lot of these are deeper time frame types of moves because these stocks, they don't get the biggest drive. And so when they start moving, it usually takes a little bit to develop that volume profile, get the supply needed, the demand. Grab that demand. The supply is right there. And once that demand is grabbed, you'll see a couple maybe sideways days, and then boom, that big explosion. So to me, I think you keep these on watch the next couple of days to see if we get those continuation moves. All right, time to catch up with the chat. What's going on out there? I see AB out there, Red Rum, another one out there. Josh. Give you a like. Could I get your opinion on Coinbase, bottom fishing crypto play? Yeah, let's go into stocks from you guys in the chat. I got no problem, Josh. I'll get into that right now. I've been hearing about new inflation-based funds. Any thoughts? Yeah, if you see an inflationary funds, they're a little late to the party. That's the only problem. But you probably are going to see a little bit of those come on out. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what Josh wanted to take a look at, was his coin. I'll start taking a look at some of the stocks you guys want to mention. But, of course, I'll get into some basic materials at the end because another run there today by BTU that I hope somebody caught because I keep missing it. Hope somebody didn't. Coin today bottoming out there. And this is just – it's exactly what you're saying, bottom fishing. And so – I've told this to multiple people before and it's not nothing to kind of doubt you or anything, Josh. It's just the way I feel about bottom fishing, right? And so bottom fishing is very good because I understand you're looking at a discount. You're like, well, this stock came down all the way to this level. Why not take it here and ride it back on up? This is a good thought. It's not a bad thought. But a lot of what happens is you have to ask yourself, what market environment am I in? There was a market, let's say 2 years ago in 2020 or 1 year ago, where, yeah, almost every stock that came on down towards further support bounced on back towards the resistance. But what have we been seeing since, let's say, November of 2021? We've been seeing a change in market environment. These pops are more pops to what? To sell. A lot of these rallies you're seeing, even the good stocks, they rally back on up and they give up those gains. There's really great stocks that are going down. And this goes to show me that, hey, it's not only about best of breed, it's the overall market crushing down on you right now. And so when the overall market's crushing down on you, it's going to be very difficult to get stocks off of that 52-week low because people are what? They're not looking to go buying. Let's just be honest. When the panic is in the streets, yes, there's always that saying, panic is in the street. That's when you should be buying. But the truth is, a lot of investors are not buying right now. And if they are, they're getting what? They're getting usually stopped out really quickly. They get in, they take their money out because they got stopped out. They get in, they take their money out. They get in, they take money out. And so to me, I think you have to do is use like a moving average for coin. Wait till you see that reversal really show up on the charts. So let's say right now, I have like a 9 EMA here that is this blue line. And what do you see above it? You see what? The 50-day. So what I would kind of watch is something in between the 50 and the 9 EMA. Let's say we could do a 20 moving average, right? And so I'm actually going to move it just for like learning purposes. I'm going to move this 50 to a 20, just so I could kind of show you what I would kind of be using to show me that reversal in this one. Of course, I would probably use an exponential moving average versus the simple now, because what's exponential and simple and what are the differences here? The difference is when you move from a simple moving average to an exponential, it's going to weigh the most recent data as higher importance. Why do I think this is important? Because I mean, let's just be honest. We always look at the recent price action, right? And so this is why I use those exponentials. And so you can see here, you've had moments where you've gotten above it, but haven't really closed 2 days above that 20-day. And so to me, I would look for a 2-day close above the 20-day to at least show me that trend is changing. Then I can take my shots. But for right now, unless the market environment changes, I think ask yourself that question and ask yourself the question constantly. Does this match market environment? And if it doesn't match market environment, does it just have a catalyst that is just taking control of it? And that's why you're caring about the overall market. All right, let me keep going, see what's going on out there, and let's look at some other stocks from the chat there. MOS being mentioned by Red Rum. I'll take a look at that one. That was a classic there. Mosaic. The Mosaic company has pulled back today, looking like a nice pullback. I'm looking for other stocks in this industry to get going. So if we look at agricultural inputs, we got a pullback right now. But look how this SVFD did today. This one pushed up 28%. IPI had a 9% day. MBII had a nice 2% day. So I'm looking for these to kind of continue. One that I'd give to take a look at, other than that MOS, of course, that one's made a big move, is Seed. Last time we talked about this one was on Thursday. It then popped up there to 975. The following Monday, what does it do? It goes to 1003, comes back all the way to the support, but doesn't break that low here of 724 and actually holding that 760 well. I'm going to look for the 760, 750s to hold tomorrow and look for a takeout of 10 on Seed. There's a couple other ones you can take a look at here. One that has been turning around is Scott's Miracle Grow. If you want to take a look at one that isn't going back up right now, it's this one right now. It's SMG, so just be careful on that one. All right, going to keep going through some of these. Look at some other ones. PLM. Let's go look at that one, Kurt. All right, so PLM here. This is a metals and minerals one, and it just kind of does. Look at the history on this one. This is one that the history will tell you a lot of what happens to it, right? Every pop, what do you see? You see a lot of high wicks. So this means that there's a lot of selling pressure every time this stock pops. Every time it goes, it doesn't like to continue that movement. It usually continues it in a one-day fashion. So today is exactly what you see there. Nice little pop on up. And what does this one do? It does the fake out in the pre-market. It goes all the way up there, 75%. Then it just fades away into the open and gives you a little pop, fades away. But one thing this is doing, it's holding the hourly support. So that's what I would be watching, and I would look for that to give me my levels to get the breakout and break down. So there you got the 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, 3 up. I would look for one more pullback, getting closer towards that 350 to hold, and then look for a break to 5. Measure the flag here. So you got about 260 on the breakout. So let's say if it breaks out above 450, let's give it 250. From there, you could actually even look for a move up there to $7. So that would be a move that would be a pretty decent breakout on this stock. Get it up into this zone up here. We'll see if it starts breaking on out and follows that flag tomorrow. What I would keep an eye out is that hourly chart. All right, let's go ahead. Take a look at corn. Corn. All right. I have honestly never looked at corn here. So I say thank you, Red Rum, for being the person that has brought me back into corn. here. Is Mitch break up, or is that me? Is my audio falling there? Let me know, guys. Let me know if my audio is cutting in and out. I'll try to get the mic closer here so you guys can hear me well. Breaking up here? Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on with my audio. It's just the issues of not having a producer, but I'll try to keep running with it, guys. That's all I can do. We're going to be ending up here in about 2 minutes, so sorry about the mic issues if we had some. All right, so corn here. What do we do? Take a look at the daily. What do we have here? All right, so it looks like we had a little bit of a push out here. Hourly chart to give you guys some levels to go off of. Look at that resistance. Draw a trend line here. You'll start seeing what major resistance touch moves back to support. And so this is what we look for in the rule of three, right? We talk about this often. 1 attempt to get out, 2 attempt to get out, 3 attempts. And then after that 3rd attempt, you're looking for the support hold area. So you see in here, you're seeing that support holding right now. It's okay for you to pull back into that, not below that. The 25.50s is that level. I would say if it breaks that, I'm not looking at the bullish move, but I'd look for a pullback into 26 and then a breakout above 26.50 in corn. This is CORN. We'll see how this kind of moves. I do like these kind of levels because you're also using the prior resistance as that support for the pullback. All right, lowered resolution and it helped a bit. Hey, I'm sorry, man. Sorry about the internet there. It looks like I'm having some internet issues. I'll get through it. All right. Yeah, Douglas, I appreciate the love, man. If you can help me out with it, but I think it's mainly a StreamYard issue today. Maybe their bit rate is not going as high, but that's what happens sometimes. All right, let's go ahead. Let's see what else is moving out there. Before we get on out of here, I wanted to take a look at APPH because that had a monster move yesterday. I got stopped out in this one today for 7 cents. So looking for this one to kind of catch that support here, hourly support, come back tomorrow, roaring through 550s. We'll look for this one to kind of get on up there tomorrow. This is a food products one. Another one that you could watch to see if these take off is Benson Hill. This one actually got back up there towards the 369, and I think could really start moving here. If you take a look here on the daily, you have some resistance above 369. Let's see if it gets moving into $4 tomorrow, and that's Benson Hill. Inflationary trade, we'll see what happens. It's the hackers. They're coming to get me, Douglas. All right, guys, I hope you guys had a great show today. It looks like we had over 100 people joining here. Please smash the thumbs on up. Let's keep going. Let's enjoy it. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow on live trading with Benzinga. We had a great show today. If you guys didn't catch live trading with Benzinga and you just want to just watch some live trading action, how we go about things, check that show on out. It's right here on Benzinga's YouTube. And hey, it would be a good way to kind of freshen up those skills if you're not one of those traders that like to trade with the group, but you just want to kind of review how we're going about things. I'll tell you one thing. I think you can learn something from us in our process, and that's what it's really all about. We're not here for financial advice. We're here for educational purposes only, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash on up. Blessings out there. Definitely, Richard, and I hope you guys have a great one. Take care. The toffee investor. I need some toffee, right? Nothing wrong with that. Let's go, guys. See you guys next time. See you tomorrow.